This is such an important topic, and it is very much part of the spiritual warfare. And I don't believe that God and the universe are testing us constantly. Maybe sometimes, because there are these lessons that sometimes we just need to grasp and comprehend, lessons that we need to learn from, so that we can come more back to ourselves. That is the whole point, that we come back to our own selves, that we discover our own power and health and everything. And the topic is signs of gaslighting, because it's important to know when you are kind and sensitive and giving, open-hearted, when your aura can be so open. Usually it is very open to other people, and it can be a big factor why we can be attracting those toxic beings, toxic people, because they can sense that we are open in that way, because they have those wounds, those voids within them that they need basically a mother figure to fill them out. Like, especially if you are a woman, this is very common. So it is important to be paying attention to your own energies and the energies, frequencies and vibrations from other people, to make sure that they would come from the right place when they encounter you and interact with you, and that you come from the right place as well, that you are able to stay in your own frame and not get mixed with theirs, with their energies, their frequencies, their vibrations, because it's too easy to be sucked into that. And when it's low vibrational energy, it's very toxic. Negative energy that they are basically just projecting on you, so it's very painful. So when a person is very negative, low vibrational, and they can have demonic entities within them also, they can be very immature, very broken, selfish, when it feels like they're just, taking from you, when they seem to be sucking your soul out of you, all of your power and health and everything, that they don't respect you as a being, as a person. So when you are a sensitive, God's chosen one, empath, highly sensitive person, earth angel, starseed, you are a human angel, it is so important that you acknowledge this when you interact with others, so that you can protect yourself a lot better. And even more, if you feel and sense and see and notice that you're constantly being attacked. You're being attacked by toxic people wherever you go, and it becomes very intolerable to handle. It feels like a curse, or like black magic spells set upon you and your life. So it is important to understand what is going on, so that you can remain healthy and sane, that you don't feel like you're going crazy. As earth angels, we don't have easy lives. When we are born, we are usually born into abusive, toxic families, and we don't basically have childhoods either. because we can end up taking care of everyone else. And that is what we learn at a young age. So overcoming all of those memories and trauma is one thing, but then if you still have to be enduring similar events as an adult later in life, so clearly then it is just too much, and it can hurt so much, you know, if we don't understand ourselves, if we don't know who we are, and the people around us don't do that for us either. They don't know that we are earth angels. They don't know what a sensitive empath, highly sensitive person is. They have no clue. And I have witnessed this too many painful times in my own life. And so for me, for that reason too, it's important to be talking about this, because we have to be aware of who we are and what we are here to create and do and be. And the people around us should be supportive. They should be uplifting us, you know, loving and caring for us, not hurting us. So right now, if you're constantly being bombarded with, you know, toxic people, events, whatever it is, but it's toxic, it's draining, it hurts you, and you're trying to be honest with others as well, like you do with yourself, because you always need to be honest with yourself first so that you can be honest with others too. Take responsibility of your own life. So it's always important to notice the boundary where you end and the other person begins, you know, so that you're not mixed with their issues. So big, clear signs that you are being gaslighted by somebody is that when their goal is not to hear you or to communicate with you normally with respect, they don't have any empathy within them for you to give. And, you know, clearly they're not interested in really understanding and hearing and respecting you, or they just don't have the abilities to do that. But anyway, it's toxic energy. And again, you cannot be responsible for their actions, for their energy, for their behavior. It's not your problem to fix or heal or handle. They are just not on the same high vibrational, loving, kind, empathetic energy level as you are. And it can hurt you. It can make you feel so uncomfortable, so uneasy with them. Even if you have not even met that person, the energy can be very heavy. So you have to protect yourself. You have to protect your energy and your feelings, your vibration, your health, your sanity. Because, you know, clearly they have some sorts of issues that is preventing them from acting normally. And this can be, of course, this can be just anyone. This can be a stranger, or even somebody that you have known your entire life, or for a decade, for example, who you thought that was your friend, for example, or your life partner. And they can turn around and, you know, stab you in the back behind you. So that is why it's so important to be protecting your own energies, to have your own back, to be on your own side, to know that you are not being difficult when you set those boundaries, when you distance yourself from those toxic beings. Maybe you resonate with this as well. From my experience, there are just too many narcissistic, immature, broken people around that easily carry those demonic entities within them. And they can be, just coming out of the blue, that you cannot even expect that it is happening. And it can hurt you even more. And you can be wondering, like, what is going on? But this is really the reality that, it is all devil's work. It's all a devil's scheme. They feed off of people who give them energy, kindness, caring, attention, whatever it is that they want. Those who are their victims keep on giving them what they need and what they want, and they feed off on that, like demons feed on fear. So it is just what happens, and it is a very unfair and unjust and a very, very, very painful situation for the victim to handle, especially when you are a sensitive being. So it is not right in any way. And when they communicate with you, the communication is only about them, that they need to have their way. And if you have boundaries and opinions normally, and you're holding on to your own personality, being authentically you, trying to uphold and practice healthy communication with them, they just get more triggered. They might call you names. They might tell you that you are difficult, that you are the crazy one. They just want to manipulate you into blaming yourself again, to be their victim, their target. And they are showing their wounds, their inner child wounds, on a platter to you and treating you like you are their parent. They are acting like a little child. They cannot have any respect for you because they are coming from that immature state of being, state of mind, energy. So they are incapable of communicating like a smart, balanced, mature would, who would actually respect you and actually hear you out and actually let you have your own opinions. So you cannot solve problems with them. They always rather play the victim than understand you or respect you normally, because it's all about their needs, what they want, what they need, their opinion. So it can be such a battle to be dealing with these kind of people constantly. It is just too heavy. And we just have to keep on reminding ourselves that we always need to ground ourselves. Come back to love and peace. Come back to God, And if you're not sure where your boundaries should go, when and where you should be setting your honest boundaries to protect yourself and your well-being, immediately if you feel that something is off, you feel a panic attack rising up, for example, you feel uncomfortable, uneasy, maybe you feel afraid of that person, you feel all that old shame and guilt coming up again, because this person is triggering those emotions and feelings and thoughts within you naturally, because you are sensitive and you are sensitive to energies. So immediately when you notice and feel and sense and see, you pick it up that oh no, it's happening again. Like a nightmare, like this horror movie that's just continuing and continuing and continuing. It's a big sign that you need to take a step back from that situation. You don't need to be wasting your time or your effort or your energy, your feelings, your health, because, you know, it's not going anywhere, and who is benefiting from that? Not you, at least. It's always your lesson to protect yourself, to step back, walk away as soon as possible, in any way possible. Just try to ignore them as soon as possible. So if you find yourself repeating the same sentences over and over again, when you're trying to be heard with them, you're trying to explain yourself, your point of view, that they would understand you and give you that normal respect and understanding, that they would respect your feelings and emotions and everything in that situation, because they should, because a normal person does that. People are usually born with empathy. We're not robots, you know, who are just being cold to one another. That's not how we are made. So something is clearly wrong. Something is off within that person if they are not treating you normally. So you are trying to communicate with them normally. You are being the stable, the mature adult, the responsible adult for your own feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, your own life, your own point of view, and you are very sensitive and intuitive. You are a healer. You are a human angel. You are a God's chosen one. So you are here to help others, not to be drained out by others. And so if you notice these signs that whatever you do, whatever you say, it's not going to be enough for them, you find yourself repeating yourself. So that again means that you're just wasting your energy, wasting your time, your effort, your feelings, everything. So this person is acting like an energy vampire. And well, of course, they're also pushing you away from that situation because it makes you feel very uncomfortable, and, you know, makes you feel all those negative emotions and feelings and experiencing those thoughts that it's just not right. So I know that it is so difficult because, at least from my point of view, I was always the problem solver. I was always the one to forgive, no matter what somebody did to me. I would usually always forgive them. And of course, that is what happens because we have the energy of Jesus Christ within us. But because they are a gaslighter, a manipulator, they want to brainwash you into being their slave. So they don't want you to have any sorts of opinions, boundaries, normal rights, anything. They cannot stand you when you're just expressing yourself naturally, when you're communicating naturally. Everything is a problem to them when it does not go their way, when they don't feel like they are the king of the hill, because that is what they want to be. That is what they are in their minds, that they are the ruler, you know, and people are just their peasants. And you are just a peasant. You're supposed to be obeying them. But when you're not doing that, they get angry. So the whole core point is about their needs, what they want from you. And if they cannot have it, they get angry, they get triggered. They can act in different ways. When they try to hurt you, when they try to gaslight you and put you down, just because they don't get their way with you. So it is a lot to handle, too much to handle for a sensitive person, and especially if it is happening and happening and happening. But we have to just keep in mind that this can happen. It's a living nightmare, but it's real life, so it can happen. And in this case, it's not about everybody is you pushed out, because you are the opposite of these people. You are the complete opposite. You are not like them. Especially even more so if you've been doing your healing work, and you know, you are taking responsibility of your own life, and you're just being the mature, the stable adult who you are really. So you're just a kind, empathetic person, and you're doing your best, and your best is enough. So it's always what we have to remember, is that our best is enough. It's not worth it at all to be losing your health, to be having illnesses, diseases, you know, all kinds of horrible, negative symptoms, because you've been treated this way, because there has been this energy vampire, this energy of dark entity, you know, trying to dim your light, trying to make you sick, trying to destroy you. That's the ultimate goal, to destroy you. And it's clear if it happens constantly and constantly and constantly, that you feel like you cannot trust anybody. You cannot be anywhere in peace. They would want nothing more but for you to go crazy, to give up on life, to give up on what matters to you, to not be taking care of yourself. That is what they want. That is their goal. You know, that you would just give in to them. Give them what they want. They want to make you question your sense of reality. And that is also a big sign that they want to mess with your mental health. It's a very dangerous sign. And of course, those who have not experienced these things, who are not like us, it is very hard to explain these things to somebody like that, even if it is a therapist or whatever. If they don't have the knowledge, it's as good as talking to nobody. A normal, a balanced, a healthy person who actually cares for you and loves you and respects you will hear you out and never call you names, for example. They will not copy paste your own messages to them. That is also a way of gaslighting, when they copy paste your own messages to you, like you don't even know what you are writing to them. So instead of actually reading your messages with normal thought and respect towards you, they just rather point out their own needs endlessly. And one way to do that is that they are copy pasting your comments. Like, look what you are writing to me. Look here, read your own comments. And they are pushing, pressuring you, forcing you to do something that you don't want to do. That you have communicated your boundaries, your needs, your opinions clearly to that person, even if you should not have to, because even more so if they are a stranger. So they don't know anything about you or your life story or anything. So they don't understand who they are dealing with. They don't understand that God is on your side, that God will revenge for you, that karma is real, that they also get what they give. Because they are too lost within their own wounds, their own trauma, their own problems and issues. So that is all that they see and what they feel and what they have. But again, it is never your responsibility to fix. Likely it was their own parents' responsibility to help them when they were children. This is the most common reason. And nobody can fill that void of that parent to them. And they are an adult now, so they are responsible for themselves. So I think that as a sensitive being, it's always that we need to remind ourselves to walk away as soon as possible, to cut that person off, to stop answering to their phone calls, emails, text messages, social media messages, whatever it is, just stop answering. Stop feeding their energy. Stop. So don't take in their toxic, negative, low vibrational energy, their problems, their issues. Be aware of your self-protection. So you want to do some breath work, for example. On top of that you are cutting them off, blocking them. But as you set those energetic boundaries, you are being aware of the situation, and you can remind yourself that it's not your problem to fix, because it's not your life, and you're here to do better other things. You are actually here to be respected, not to be drained out. So don't drain yourself out for nothing. They will always blame you for what they have done. They always create the mess, the issue in the first place, and then they blame you. So that is gaslighting also. That, for example, they have cheated on you and they blame you for cheating, for example, when you have not even cheated. There are different ways that they are trying to make you feel like you're the crazy one. And this is severe psychological abuse again, because they are trying to make you actually be the crazy one. They are trying to make you feel like you are losing your mind. And that will start to happen if you let these people affect you. If you keep on interacting with these people, you will become their slave. And that is not God's plan. And this is also one of the powerful big signs that you're being gaslighted and manipulated by a narcissistic, a toxic person, immature, broken person who's trying to get you down, trying to get what they can get from you. So they blame you to be the narcissist. And if you say to them that they are a narcissist, it's a big word to them that they will get offended by it. They will really get angry and triggered and offended by that word. Again, because they do it and they don't take responsibility. And they want you to take all the responsibility like a parent would of their child. So this is what happens, and